Hey, how are you today? This is Auntie Nat's Crochet. Glad you chose this tutorial video. Do subscribe to my channel. The subscribe button is at this corner over here. It will mean a lot to me. I have hundreds of videos, so do check them out. And today I'm gonna make a bag, a tote bag, with these 4 pieces of this batik rectangle. 1 in this color, 2 in this color and 2 in this color. Which do you prefer? The darker one or the lighter one? They are the same pattern, it's just that the combination of colors is different. One looks like this and one looks like this. So if you want to know how to make this rectangle piece, all this rectangle piece, you check out the previous video, or you can go to the icon here. You can click the icon here. It will bring you straight to the tapestry crochet tutorial for this piece, this batik piece. This is known as batik pattern, and I'm going to turn these 4 pieces into a bag. So this particular video, there's no crochet. I'm not going to show you how to crochet this. If you want to know how to do this, the PDF file, it's in the earlier post, the one on this link here. You can click here. The PDF file is inside there. You can download it, and I will also teach you step by step how do you change color and how it comes up to be like this. So this particular video is just all about the bag, no crochet. So these 4 pieces, let me show you how big is this. If you really want to know what's the length, this is about 7 inches. This is in inches. This is in inches, and if you want to know, 7 would be 18 centimeter, and the length, it's about 20 or 51 or 2 centimeter. So the width is actually, the length here is 3 times the width here, almost 3 times. It's not exactly 3 times. So here is actually 3 times. So from here to here I have 75 stitches. So I'm gonna divide it into 3. So I'm gonna count from here. I'm gonna add a marker. The difference between these pieces is this side there's one stretch of purple color. It looks like as if it has a border, and this side there's no border, because the pattern goes right until the edge. So I'm going to use this side as the base of the bag, and the side that has the border will be the top of the bag. Okay, so this one will be the other way around. So this one will be this way. So I'll make sure all those that has a purple border is on the top, and the one with the pattern all the way until the edge here is the bottom of the bag. So now I'm going to count 15 stitches. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 25. Sorry, it's 25 stitches, because I have the whole stretch here, from here until here I have 75 stitches. So 75 divided by 3 I will get 25. So I'm going to add a marker at the 25 stitch on the side that this is the side where the and you see the pattern as it goes this way. This pattern here, it ends here. There's no purple color, no edge. There's no purple color edge here. This pattern goes all the way to the end, where else here you see there's one edge here. So I'm gonna put the marker at this corner. So this is one. Oh, this is another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, maybe I'll come back to you once I have all of it with marker. Yeah, place marker on both sides here. You see the edge here and here. You can see the V shape clearly because this side I work on this is the foundation chain, but I work on the bum side, so all this V shape will appear. And this is the last row, which is, you can see the bum side very clearly. So later when I stitch it together it's easier. So I put one marker here and one marker here, same for all this, and I'm gonna sew it together with the same yarn. Then you just get a tapestry needle. This is a 8-ply cotton yarn. So this one, since the table is kind of small, I just roughly show you how it will look like. Let me roll this a bit, get all this out of the way. You're gonna look like this. One would be here. Make sure the color is alternate. You see the marker here, so you make sure this part here reach this marker just nicely like this, so that when I stitch it up it won't go way beyond. Maybe just that one stitch away, just one, or exactly on, because this is 25, so most likely here. This marker is to mark it, so when I stitch this up I won't go way beyond, or this won't go this way or this way. Yeah. So I will use marker to mark a bit here. I mean, you use a marker, you can tape it here and here before you start to sew. So I'm going to use alternate colors, so one here, the darker color here, and then the lighter color over here. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see this. I'll show you the short video later. I'll add into this video to show you how the actual thing look like. It's gonna look like this. So which means you have, I'm gonna use alternate color, or unless you want to use all the same color, it's your choice. So I'm gonna put a lighter color here, the darker one here, join from here until the marker here, same thing, one here, one here, one here, and one over here. And if you notice, this one joins at the marker as well. Can you see the marker? Here and here, sorry. So now I am going to stitch this up here. You can stitch from here to here and here to here. Up to you how you want to stitch it. You can even stitch this way and this way, which means, okay, like for example, I'm gonna stitch these two first. So I'm gonna set this aside. So I'm gonna stitch this, which means this is the right side up. This is the right side up. You're gonna fold this over like this and sew here. So make sure when you sew, you see the stitch here. This is, the stitch might not coincide because this is the side and this is, you can see it nicely 1 2 3 4 5 6, but this is the side of the, so you can't really see. So you just make sure it does not go very far from this marker, maybe one more stitch away, that's all. From here, stitch all the way here. So how you're gonna stitch it, you're gonna, this one you can't use such too long a yarn, because this yarn, when you sew, you pull out too often, it kind of like you see all the 8 strands together. When you pull it out after sewing many times, it kind of open up, flare up. So here you just make a stitch like this from here to here. I'm just showing you an example because I think later I want to sew from here to the other side, because now I'm going downwards. You get something to hold it first in place, so I think I'm gonna use until here. So later I'm gonna start from here, so it's up to you how you're gonna start. I just show you. I'm gonna do this, go in here. Whoops, oh sorry. This line, it's still okay, because once you flip it the other side, you won't be able to see this line. You can either do it this way, which every time it comes like this, means every time you put your needle like this all the way, so it comes like this, so you have this line. Or you can do it like this, from here and here. This way you can't see the stitches. You can either do it this way or this way, and when you flip it the other side, you can't really see, oops, sorry, you can't really see the stitches there. But anyway, this is the base of the bag. This is at the bottom of the bag until we go up, so this, it won't be so noticeable. So I'll come back to you once I have all this nicely fastened. You can sew it this way or this way. So once you pull tight, because that's not, because it's kind of difficult to sew with this camera in front of me. So when you pull tight, you can't actually see the stitch. This one is because I didn't pull tight yet. So whichever way you're sewing, you won't be able to see the stitch. So I'll come back to you once I have all these 4 pieces nicely fastened, and I'll show you what happened on the top part. Okay, let me just show you one of it. I think I should be able to do this gently without knocking over the phone. I'm recording with my phone. Okay, so here it's like this corner to this corner. I already add a marker here. If I remember correctly, the width here is 25 stitches. There are about 25 rows if I count correctly, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna stop here at 26 actually, the 26th stitch, but you have to make it consistent. If here you're gonna do 26, every piece you're gonna do 26 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2, 4, 6, 10, 2, 4, 6, yep, 26. Okay, so every piece I'm gonna stitch on the 26th stitch. This is the 26th stitch. I'm gonna make one stitch here. I'm gonna get rid of this, make one stitch here. I'm gonna tie a knot, then turn to the back and find this knot here, the knot from the other piece. Just tie a knot just in case, so that all this tail will be inside the bag, and I'm going to do a back lining inside the bag and hide all this tail, so you just leave it there. Okay, now once I'm gonna hold it, you make sure you put one marker here and one here, so that it won't, because as when you stitch it might go, you know, away, not according to the number of stitch. So here I'm going to stitch from here to the top, then from the top to the bottom, stitch by stitch. You can see this V shape here. I'm gonna do stitch by stitch. And this yarn here, you should not cut too long, not too greedy, because if we keep doing this, go in and out, you see it become like this, it kind of flare up. Now because of this, it will stay in the correct position. I'm gonna remove this once I reach there. I'm not gonna remove now. Or if you're comfortable in other type of sewing it together, go ahead. There's no wrong or right way of stitching this, so long you get it together and it doesn't really show in front and doesn't look messy, and you are good to go. I've already joined the other two pieces, so I'm gonna join these two and later join them together. I'm just joining the base. I haven't reached the top of the bag. And this holding on to it, so you see I'm on the right track. I didn't go out of it or one side too long than the other, so now it's the same length. Make sure this is the back and this is the back, and the front is here. See, it starts to flare up like this. That's why you cannot cut it too long. It has this electric static every time you pull. Okay, here just make the last stitch. Then I will make my way here into the middle. maybe get this, tie a knot with this, just make a few stitches here, make my way to the middle of the bag so that all this tail won't show at this corner here at the edge. So bring it to the middle and then you just tie a knot. Okay, now let me get the other piece. So now this piece looks like this. It looks like this. This piece looks like this too. It's the same. So now I'm gonna join it here like this over here. Okay, so which means I will have to fold it this way, fold it this way. Now you get some marker to kind of like pin it down so that when you sew it won't move about. And then one here, most important one at the end here. Is it 25? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yep, on the 26th stitch. Let me get one more here. And same thing here. This is on the 25th. So I should go to the next stitch. 26, the 26th stitch must come with the first stitch here. Then you make one more here. In the middle, somewhere here, to hold it. And same thing, you're gonna sew here from here until here, and same thing, you're gonna tie a knot with all this, okay, here, with all this tail here. You will have tails everywhere, like here or even at the back. So you just tie a knot, and later when we add the lining you won't be able to see all this. So this is how the back of the inside look like, and this is how the outside look like. Okay, I've joined the 4 parts here, you see. So now you're gonna join, you know, the left side. I mean, you will have one on the left and one on the right. You just take these 2 pieces. Of course, you do it inside out. This is the outside. You do it inside out, or you can turn it the other way around. Turn it inside out. Oops, sorry. Turn it inside out. And you see this piece and this piece is just next to each other. Just join them together like this, stitch by stitch. And obviously you will find that one part is shorter than the other one. Then let it be. Just stitch this up, and you turn to the other side and you do the same. This one join to the piece just next to it. So you use your marker, marker, just pin it around. Just pin one here, one in the middle, you know, one in the end here, it will reach somewhere here, and of course this piece will be longer than this one, and same goes for the other side. So you're gonna do this on all four sides. It's kind of difficult for me to do this here now because my phone is in the way. You see, everything starts dropping. This table is just not big enough for something like this, but I hope you get what I mean. You just sew, because you will know that this piece is sitting right next to this piece, and this piece is just next to this piece. So you just sew all the four sides together, and I'll come back to you and show you how the final thing look like. Okay, I've assembled, I have stitched it up. So this is how the bag will look like, and you will have a square base, kind of like a square base, and inside it's up to you. This is quite a big bag. If you want, you can make it smaller, because I want the pattern to be like this, you know, like it kind of balance off with this big flower here, I mean big motif here, and the smaller motif covering it. So if you do not want this bag to be this big, maybe you forget about this part here. You just do 2 rows of this. It will still look like batik. So because I want this and this, so the bag turns out to be kind of big. But it still looks nice. So now for the inside, because if you do not mind the inside looking like this, and you just leave it as it is. But if you were to put things inside here, you know, with all this strand and all this, I prefer to have a lining, back lining, to cover up all these lines here. So for the base, I've cut out a square piece, and I'm going to turn this upside down, inside out, sorry, not upside down, turn it inside out. So it depends whether, maybe you can make a pouch, you know, a pouch with a drawstring. You can pull and just put it inside, or I prefer to do it this way. This is just a guide. I mean, if you think that this idea is not great, then it's okay, just at least you have one more option. So I'm going to turn it inside out. You look at this square piece here. How you know it's a square is when you see this corner with this corner, you fold it, this corner to this corner, and this corner to this corner, this corner, and this corner, and you will have a square piece. So I cut myself a square piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one stitch here, right in the middle here. I'm going to sew it with normal sewing thread and needle. I do not like to sew with machine because you will see the lines. So after I sew this, I am going to go to all the corners. So okay, like for example, this is one corner, there's the other corner. Oh, here you can feel the corner here. So I'm gonna make one stitch at this corner and one stitch at this corner. Then of course you would have to fold this a bit so that all this won't come off. You fold it and you sew it here. You make one stitch here first and one stitch here, and later you sew here, and you do the same for all the 4 corners, and you will have a square base at the bottom of the bag. Then I ran out of this cloth, so I got another purple cloth. This is a softer one. This is kind of canvas feel. This is kind of like a normal soft cotton yarn, and here I am going to sew around this square piece. I mean join it to this square piece here, and the top part here I am going to cut according to this size because it's a kind of V shape here. See, it's kind of V shape here, so I'm going to cut according to this size and sew it like this, not so near, but you know, so at least one glance, no matter how you open your bag, you're gonna see all purple inside without all these lines. And for the back strap, I'm going to make 3 different cord. I'm going to make cords in 3 different colors, sorry, and then the back cord I'll show you in a while, because since this bag has 3 colors, so I'm going to make use of these 3 color and make a back cord and sew it onto the tip here. Actually, you have to sew it further down so that you can carry the weight, not so tip, because it won't, you know, it will break easily, so you have to go further down a bit. So I'm going to do the back cord first before I sew this here to cover up. So when you're sewing this, you have to take note whether you would like to have some buttons here and there. If you do, then this is the time you're gonna sew it here. You know, there's magnetic button or whatever type of button that you think is nice for this bag, so you sew it here before you attach it onto, or you attach first then you sew it, so depending. So now, as for now, I'm going to sew the base first, then I am going to attach this, and I'll come back to you and show you how I'm going to do the back cord. Okay, now I'm going to make the back strap. I'm going to make a cord like this in 3 colors. So here when you start, you make sure you leave some tail for sewing, and once you come to the length that you want, you also leave a long tail for sewing. So let me show you how I'm going to make the cord. I'm going to use the 3rd color. You're going to start by making a knot. This is just my habit of making a knot. Once you have a knot, you chain 2. 1, whoops, 1, 2. So 1, 2, you have 2 stitch here, and you go to the, you know, this V shape here, we go to the one that is facing us. Go pull up a yarn and kind of make like a single crochet. Then you see this part here that's facing us. You go in here, there's only 1 strand. You pull up a loop and make a single crochet, and by now you will see there's 2 strands. There are 2 in each side now, so you go to the one that face us, you know, face yourself, you put through 2 of it and you make a single crochet. Single crochet means you pull up a loop, you have 2 on your hook, then you put through 2, and again you do this, and you continue, you keep turning. I mean, this cord will keep turning because we always want to do it on this side and turn it this side to yarn over, so it will keep rotating. So I made 3 of it, and I'm going to attach to the back. Okay, let me put this one side and show you how I attach to the bag. I already attached one on one of the sides like this. Go to one of the corner. Do not stitch too much to the tip because you need about, you know, maybe an inch or so inside the bag so that you can hold your bag better. So you see, you can't see the stitches here. I use back the tail from this cord to sew it. So when I sew, I make sure both sides of the cord is sewn nicely onto the bag and not shown in front. So up to you what's the arrangement, which color you want to be in the middle. And when I sew, I make sure I put the needle all the way to the other side like this. Put it all the way to the other side. Your tail, put all the way to the other side and pull. And here same thing. So this tree here, this part will be very secure. And you see the yarn going in. And you see the yarn going in and out. So once this is very secure, make sure it's about 1 inch from the tip here, and the rest you can just tie a knot here, because here I'm going to make bag lining to cover this part up. And now this part here, I am going to pleat it like this, like how you brace the hair. You call it brace. Just do this until you have a very nice braid, like, you know, like this. Isn't that lovely? I use by the same 3 colors as the back. So once you reach the end here, same thing, you find the opposite tip, the opposite here, and sew it inside here. Do not sew to the tip. Oops, sorry. You do not sew right on the tip. You put your cord like this, at least an inch inside the bag. Then place the other one and another one. And as for the back lining, I have made it, I've cut the cloth into rectangle shape like this, rectangle shape, and I have sewn one. Oh yeah, let me show you the base. I have sewn the square part at the base. So now this part here, what I do is you go to the any sides, because you're going to cover all 4 sides. You're going to have something like this, right? I mean, one strap of you know, the rectangle. So I'm going to just cover this part here and sew all the way until I reach this bottom part here. So I have 4, so I cover this, and later I'll cover this part and the other 2. So here, before I cover, make sure you have already sewed the back strap. So you have sewed the back strap like this, and then you add your lining and cover it up, maybe like this. Cover it up so that it looks more neat, and we're gonna hide all this inside the lining. So when I open my bag, you wouldn't see all this line, you would see this purple cloth inside the bag. So I'll come back to you once I have all this nicely fastened. and show you how the final thing look like. And on the top part, it's up to you whether you want to add buttons or drawstring, or you just add a bag inside. But if you just add a bag inside, all this will still show, because this strap here goes all the way to the top, to this part. So when you open up your bag, this part will show. So I might as well cover this part with lining. Come back to you once I have all this done nicely. Okay, I've done all the sides here. This side, all the 4 sides, I have sewed the back lining so that it covers up all the inside. And I purposely leave this line here. If you do not want to see that line, you can actually cover it up. Then you turn it inside out and you will have a lovely tote bag. The base is actually square. You can put anything square in the back. The back looks like this. It has a square base, so you can actually place a cake or, you know, something square, a box. You can place a box inside, in fact. So I hope you like this pattern. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you in my next post.